Cameraman Grades, cameramangrades.com. How to film football, training, and professional consultations for camera operators, video coordinators, and sports video professionals at all levels. Find us at cameramangrades.com or contact us directly at cameramangrades@gmail.com to improve your team's coaching video. Currently searching for the most proficient, efficient, and effective camera operator at every level of football. We are looking for the best of the best, and we're putting it to the test. Today we're going to look at Prarie out of Minnesota versus Anoka for the home opener. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, special teams. All right. So right here to start, I'd love to be able to see the front line of the defending, the receiving team. Okay, so we could just zoom out just a little bit to be able to see that, and then if we can cut this right down to this edge, okay, that will give us even more space to the right side to be able to see that. Okay. We got to zoom out a little bit. The information that you're going to get from these initial steps on this front line is well worth zooming out just a little bit to be able to see it. Okay, so where did these guys start initially, and how did they get to this spot? I mean, I'm sure I can guess that they were right here, but I want to see it to start. Okay, and then to zoom out, if we could zoom out to see where the ball actually lands, that would be tremendous, and keeping all these guys on the left-hand side and finding where the ball lands on the right-hand side would make a huge help for that. Okay? All right. Here we go, play 2. All right, great setup. Okay, right close on this backside, which is great. Okay, now this guy's going to vacate. If we can bring this over and then find where the ball is on this side, unless this running back's going to be coming this way, we should be able to bring this all the way over, which is a considerable amount, probably about 20% to this side. So let's see what happens. A lot of movement beforehand. Okay, they're going to back off a little bit, make sure that the defense has space on this side, which they do. Okay, and there it is, right? Came over immediately and zooming up to go find it. Awesome. And what a great play to start the game. Okay, we're doing it. Let's go. Awesome. And we're in for a score. So, all right, let's just take a look here at the start. Okay, within just a couple yards both directions. This is a nice tight set here. And then blocks getting thrown. Running back bounces it out. We see all this happening, and then we see him get to the corner of the end zone. Fantastic. Okay, great tight setup. Okay, now this is tight enough. We really don't need to do anything here at this point. Oh my. Okay. All right. So because that was so tight, you can just leave it at that point. All right. Okay. So now this time we do see the front line. Okay. And this makes a huge difference, right? Now this is so much more effective here to be able to see that. Yep. And right there. Oh my. What a big hit. Love it. Okay, do we actually see where he caught the kick? No. Okay. Definitely want to see that, as that is going to help the kicker's statistics. Okay. All right. So, nice and tight setup. Got bunch left. And great play on defense. Okay, this side, we've seen the corner. Yep, we're already into that play at that point, so very good. Okay, pass. All right. So here, I'd want to come right to left with my camera to be able to keep this guy in the shot a little longer, possibly even zooming out after that. Okay, zooming in, you definitely see that this pass is going this way, but I'd love to be able to see this route for just a little bit longer, see what this corner does. Is he changing directions and coming over here to get into the play or not, right? And so being able, yep, here he comes, right? Let's go. And they're getting the ball back. Holy smokes. Okay. All right. So yeah, right there. I would like to see that for a little bit longer. All right. Let's go back to the beginning here. Yes. Okay, safety's tight to this side. Right to the edge. Okay. Looks good. Okay, where did this guy come flying up from? Right here. It's the corner. Okay. Coaches can see that. Oh, yeah. Okay, this kid's on his highlight reel, right? That's awesome. Love it. Okay. Here we go again. Okay. Punting. Oh, coming this way. And look at that. It's going on the punter's highlight reel. Awesome. All right. We got some highlights getting made today. Looks really good, though. Okay. Filmer's doing a great job. Obviously, these are nice, tight setups you can see right from the beginning. Okay. And then what they're doing once the play starts makes a ton of sense. Look how tight this is. I'm seeing numbers all over the place. Every single player on this team, on both teams, can use this film, to send to coaches and say, look what I did on this play, right? Bam! Right? Way to go, 66. I see you, dude. All right, let's go. So good. Coming this way. Okay. No knee-jerk reactions. And his house in it. Okay. To the house. All right. So there's no knee-jerk reaction. Nothing changes here. Great. This is somebody who knows what they're doing, right? Right there. This is all 22 guys still in the shot. Okay. At this point, he's hitting the sidelines, and they're going to follow him. To the house. For 6. Wow. Well, Eden Prairie's off to a great start. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So right here, you got this guy. He steps off the frame. We want to pick him up. They do. Okay. Right before the snap, which is good. Okay. And then it's a reverse going in the other direction and in for the score. Okay. So let's see here. Can we keep anybody else in the shot over on this side? Yeah. So we're gaining a lot of space on this side and cutting out guys on this side. That's where it makes sense to not, make this knee-jerk reaction. If all 22 guys are still in your shot, you can just leave it right here, right? And so moving over to see the referee on this side didn't gain us anything, and we actually lost players. All right. Okay. Again, got this side. Now this is the setup I was looking for in the initial opening kickoff. Okay. And it's down. Not sure where the ball went. So zooming out a little bit to be able to see where the ball lands, keeping it tight, right? But you can still see these guys on the left-hand side coming down the field and see where the ball lands. You're going to get plenty of good information from all these interactions, but this bit of information as to where did this ball bounce? Okay, I filmed a game for a high school one time, and the kicker was excellent at dropping the ball at the 1 yard line with backspin and bringing it back in. So people had never seen a kick land at the 1 yard line and then still stay in play. They were expecting it to bounce out or bounce into the end zone, and the returners were baffled by the fact that this ball was still in play. and they were able to, come down the field and get to the ball. But the fact that we were able to see it on film, right? That kickoff, that kicker was able to send that video around and be like, wow, look at this, exquisite kick. There were 2 times where the ball came back into play, and we actually got that ball as the kickoff team. Okay, so there it is, right? Not sure why they kicked it again. Must have gone out of bounds, and they decided to have them kick it again as instead of taking the yards. There's where the ball lands. Okay, this is the difference. And now we're coming in, and look at all this. Look at all this. Look at all these blocks. Yeah. Sweet. All right, play 15. Here we go. Okay. Instant run recognition, right? You can see they're not zooming out at all. There's a guy running down the field. Yeah, safety's changing directions. This guy's coming this way. Okay, ball's here. And ball might be on the ground again. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Highlight reel, right? Okay. Why is it important to get good video for your high school team? Every single one of these players could have the opportunity to play college ball if the coaches can see what they're doing, right? If the safety can show that he changes directions really well and comes this way to make plays, that's awesome. If 22 shows that he can put a guy on his back, even better, right? So let's do that for these players, okay? They work hard for it. They've earned the opportunity. Let's make sure that we're doing what we can to, show that to the next level. Oh, look at this. Bam. Bam. This is so good. Okay, and we're punting again, so here we go. Okay, right there. Okay, what has changed about this frame? Literally nothing. This is the exact same frame. Right, from right here, okay, to here. They did not move at all. Okay, so I get to watch all of this interaction without any interjecting from the filmer. And that is a beautiful thing, right? Beautiful. And then there's the punt statistics. Okay, now at this point, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. Makes me want a burger, but I also want to see more of the football here. Okay, there's plenty of guys about to get into the mix here. Is that a block in the back? I don't know, man. Could be, right? I saw it. It's on film, right? No, he's in front of him. Look at that. I see it. Okay, love to be able to see these interactions for a little bit longer. So we don't necessarily need to zoom in on these 5 guys. We can stay right here at this point and see where the ball lands and then where it goes from there. Oh, look at that punt. Punter highlights. Play 19. Okay, so this is very aggressive because we have this guy so wide out on this left side and it's on an angle towards the end zone. If he vacates this space, we can bring this all the way over. Almost, 40% of the screen can get cut down almost immediately unless somebody bounces out this direction. So let's just see what happens. Hey, let's go. Okay. All right. So there you go. They didn't have to zoom out at all, right? And they did not zoom out at all because they can move this direction with this player. Okay. This guy right to the edge. This guy right here. Okay. Balls up. Balls down. Awesome. Okay. Now, You can cut this down a little bit, get in tighter if you can. Okay, it looks like they're running quick, so they got up to the line and snapped it really quick. All right, they've got numbers coming this way. They've got lead blockers. Let's see here. All right, at this point, we kind of zoomed in to get to this point. You can just kind of let it play out and let these guys, get into the frame here, and this is tight enough at this point. All right, but there you go, following along, looks good. Play 21. Okay, go in the other direction. Got a lead blocker. Follow your blocker. Okay, and does he? I mean, the coaches can look this up. Does this guy follow this guy? Yeah, look at that. Okay, and bounced it out there. All right, and we've got a lot of good information that we can pull from that. So that looks good. Okay, again, still got a lot of space back here. If we can just recognize that they're going way tighter on this and just shoving the ball straight forward. Okay, ball's out again. Okay, and you can see this player come in here and just yank the ball out. Number 7. Okay. All right. So if you got all this space over here and then you're dropping out the corner on this side, right? I would trade this grass for players. All right. All right. Now we got a spread formation. This isn't all tight like it was before. Okay. We do have a receiver going this way, but the ball's clearly going that way. So we're going to zoom up on that. Dropping the receiver on this side to go see some more detail on that side. Makes a ton of sense. Okay. All right. Let's see the setup here. Okay, within 5 yards this direction, 3 yards that direction. Pass. Okay. Bam. Bam. Right to the edges. Balls up. Great catch. Awesome. Wow. This film is looking really good. Eden Prairie's getting some really good footage for game 1 of the 2025 season. This is what they start with. This looks great. Okay. All right. Run to the other side. They ended up dropping out this guy. That's a fine decision. You can keep him in there a little bit longer, but that's totally fine. Okay, I'm thinking this is a pass. Okay, roll out. Play action, roll out the other direction. All right, so at this point, because it's a pass, I want to see routes, right? Oh, where's this guy going? Is he open? Is this guy open, right? This guy's looking for somewhere to throw. There might be places to throw all over here, and the coaches can see it on film if you include them in that shot, okay? If there is a time to zoom out, this is it, right? All right. Pass. Okay. Similar to the last play, right? Looks like he's going to be running it, but he is looking downfield to throw it. So if we can keep these guys in the shot longer to see those routes, will make a huge difference for the coaches to be able to show them, where to throw on this. Okay. Okay, here we go. Running this way. Okay. Got somebody coming out of the backfield there. Okay, we're losing a guy on this side. Losing a guy on this side. Okay. Let's just see if there's anything we could do here. Again, if there is a time to zoom out, this is what it's for, right? And they do zoom out, but they already lost a guy on this side and they already dropped a guy out on this backside here. Okay, dropping a guy out on the backside is not as big of a deal. I'd rather see the receiver go into the corner of the end zone. All right. Okay, so right here, Play 29. We're zooming in, zooming in, zooming in, zooming out. Okay, and then dropping a guy here and adding grass on this side. So ultimately, it's a run coming this way. It's not that big of a deal, but I would love to be able to keep that guy on the far side in the shot, especially if we're just trading him for grass on the other side. And if you're going to zoom in, have a reason for it. If you're going to zoom in and then zoom right back out, then it's probably just best to keep it there. Okay, so right here, speaking of dropping a guy, right, the quarterback. Okay, quarterback hands the ball off, and he's out of the play. Okay, we're dropping him, and we're focusing on these 21 guys. Okay, this is an all-22 turned into all-21 because the quarterback, has done his job on this one. Love how tight they get on, getting set. All right, dropped a couple guys there. Okay, this is pretty tight. Again, we're back down to 5 guys, right? So right here, I mean, this is so tight, you could really just leave this. You don't need to zoom in at all and just keep all of this in the shot, right? Yeah. Looks good. Oh, we're going. Okay, going quick. Play 32. Okay, again, you might not notice it, but there is a zoom in here, and we're cutting guys out just to zoom in on this guy. Okay. At this point, you've got a great setup here. You can just move left to right with the mass of people. Okay, moving left to right this way, and then we're keeping those guys in the shot then. By zooming up, we're getting tighter on this guy, but we were already tight enough to see him bust through this hole right here. We see all the blocks getting thrown, and there it is, right? So that's where just leaving it when you have that tight of a setup to start can go a long way. Okay, great. Awesome. This is still all 22 guys. Okay, quarterback stepping out. Okay, still 21 guys. Okay. Seems like this guy here should be running up to block somebody, right? I'm thinking it's this guy, but he just runs right past him. All right, and this guy comes in to try to make a play. Yep, and he's still just running there. So, it looked to me like they might be missing a safety back there, but the tight end wasn't actually running towards anybody. So, looks really good. Okay, dropped the corner immediately, right, and the receiver, and that's the guy they're going to, right. Again, this is the time for using that zoom, right. We've got a nice tight setup, which is great. Okay, love getting tight, but now we need to own it, right, by saying, hey, we can get tight and we can keep up with this guy as he goes down the field. All right. Play 35. Pass. All right. Does this look like he's handing it off? Nah, he's pulling it back. Okay. And then we lost everybody, right? In the meantime, we got sucked in on the run fake and lost all the receivers, right? So if we can just recognize these guys out of the corner of our eye, they're not rushing up on a run. They're dropping back with all these routes. Okay, so like right here, if we just stop it right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, right? I like to see 11, 12 guys at a minimum, right? If you are going to zoom in on a section of guys, there's a whole lot more information that we can pull from that. If we're, just staying out a little bit wider on this for this one. Okay. There it is. Okay. Staying outside. This is a nice tight setup to start. We've got everybody in the frame, and then they're moving left to right because that's the direction that everything's moving, but not until they absolutely have to. Right, there it is. And then zooming in. Awesome. Okay, play 37. Reverse, coming this way. Oh. Awesome. Play 38. Run in. Okay. Setup. Perfect. Knee-jerk reactions? None. Okay, there's the run. Everything's happening within the frame. You don't have to move anything. Okay, excellent. Okay. There's the spread extra point situation, and then they reset. Sometimes you'll see them just throw it on over there. Try to get the 2 points out of it. Okay, excellent job. Special teams. Kicking it. Okay. Oh, okay. So, because I know that this ball's going deep, zooming in is not going to be the right move here. Right. You can see the slow zoom in right here. Zooming in. Okay. Not sure where that ball landed. So that's where you can zoom out just a little bit more, pick up where that ball lands, and then go from there. You know, this is a high school kicker. He's not going to be kicking NFL distances, you would think, right? So just being able to stay out a little bit wider with him to be able to see where that ball lands is going to be a huge help. Play 41. Hold on a second. So right here, okay, because we know this guy's going to vacate, this guy's going to vacate, that leaves all this space behind the quarterback and the running back. We can bring this all the way over. Okay, and that's important because on this side of the frame, we've got these two guys and they're running this way, right? So these guys are running this way, these guys are running this way, the running back's running that way, this guy's running that way. It makes sense for the screen, you know, the left side of the screen to be coming that way as well. Okay, and again, zooming in right here, just barely. Zooming in is going to be going the wrong direction with all those routes going down the field. Okay. This is perfect. This is so good. Okay. Got a guy on this side. Okay, coming over, right? And up to go see the ball on the other side. Everybody's still in the shot. This is all 22 guys. Okay, this is everything you'd want. Wow, that was quick. Okay, so they're moving the ball now. They want to move the ball down the field. I don't know what the scoreboard's looking like right now. It could be that they're coming up on the half and they're trying to get into the end zone. Again, all 22 guys right here. Really well done to get you to this point. Little bit extra space back here to start, but they used it really well once they came over, kept everybody in the shot, and look at that. Beautiful. Pass. We're looking pass. Nope. Yep. Okay. So right here, okay. Yes, it does come down to this side, but coming down to cut this guy's head off just to show, you know, the grass on the other side of the 50, on the other side of the numbers doesn't make any sense. So if we can just keep it right here, top of the chains, beautiful, perfect. Okay, this is a great frame, especially this ball's coming right here. There's no reason to move anything about this frame anytime soon. Okay. It looks really good though. Run. Okay. Okay, can we tighten this up at all at the snap? Yeah, we're seeing stadium, right? We're seeing the crowd at this point. But ball hasn't been snapped yet. They're coming in. Okay, they get to right about here within 10 yards both directions. It's not as tight as anything else I've seen today, right? This is. Okay. Now at this point, cutting out the receiver in the corner on this side wouldn't make sense compared to the quarterback who's just walking behind the play. Okay. I'd rather see the guys out in front of the play than the guy walking behind it. But looks really good. Pass. Nope. Run straight ahead. Okay. Off tackle. All right. So, are we tight on this? Yeah. Look at this. A yard. So good. Okay, they back off a little bit. And then recognizing it's a run and coming in. Why do they zoom in on a run? Because all of these, defenders are trained to go find this ball on a run, right? They're not going to be backing up into routes anymore once they see that, there's no reason to do that. All right. So good. 12 men on the field, I'm gonna say. Right? So why do I know there's 12 men on the field? Because this guy's trying to get off the field. Okay. So this guy drops out pretty quick, right? And we've got space behind the quarterback. We can come over here and then stay with him for a little bit longer would be helpful. But it was past the other direction anyway, so. All right, we're going quick again. They are definitely moving quickly to get in the end zone. All right, maybe trying to keep the defense off guard. Obviously they were, because they were catching them in, with too many men on the field. So right here, again, tight. Okay. Let's zoom out just a little bit, keep this guy in the shot, let him a little bit of time to see his footwork before we go find the ball on the other side. Okay. Looks good though. Alright. Here we go. Okay. Got some space behind the offense on this side. No space behind the corner. Again, we've been kind of losing the corner several times on this drive. If we can keep them in the shot, especially by, cutting down space behind the offense would be great. Okay. Looks great though. Yup. Again, the run recognition, right? Seeing that it's a run and knowing that you're going to have to come in on it. So good. Spot on. Within 5 yards, both directions. No knee-jerk reactions. Go find the ball to the corner of the end zone. Looks great. Play 52. Pass. Okay. Hold on a second. Alright. So yes, he does look this direction, and he's been going this direction this whole time, right? And you've got to go back going this way. But we still want to keep these guys in the shot. And this frame goes this direction, right? We're going right to left when the ball is going left to right. Okay? Not left to right, not because he's throwing it over to this side, but because, the offense is just moving that direction in general. And there it is, right? Now we've got the pass over here. I'd love to see what happened, what transpired to get this guy to this spot, right? He obviously made a move here to come back and get this ball. And the defense was saying none of that, right? We're not doing that. Okay? Lined up. Perfect framing. No movement. Perfect setup. And leaving it. Referee says no. Okay. Play 54. Okay. Whoa. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 guys. Right. 3 guys. Oh. Okay. Awesome that you get to see it, but you absolutely would have just seen this if you just left it like this. He's absolutely coming this direction. He's coming right at you, right? You can just leave it right like this and see all these guys and then just move with the mass of guys coming this way. All right. A lot of times coaching video at the high school level is kind of hybrid. They still use it for highlights and stuff at the end of the year, but I also want to use it for highlights for this offensive line. You know, they all want to send those highlights off to their coaches at the next level for when the time comes. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. Why is it wow? Because there is a big time block coming out of this. And a little bit offside. Boom! Where does this dude come from? Run behind him every time I say. Bam! Okay. Huge. Huge block. Okay. And it looked like there was a little bit of movement right there. Okay. Right? And you can see it all on film, right? And they're going to coach off of this, right? And I'm sure they did, right? Saturday morning, coming to, watch the film with the team and say, what can we do to improve for week 2, right? And obviously they're rolling already in week 1, but anything we can do to go from there. But this film looks really good. And guess what? That's why they can coach from it, because this film looks so good. All right. Perfect. And there it is. It's good. All right. Front line, entire kicking team. Let's go. Let's go find it. Okay. So yeah, we've got 8 yards behind the kicking team, and we're not sure where that ball lands. If we can zoom out, put these guys right on the right edge, and then you'll see where the ball's going. You'll see more of the receiving team at that point. There's a whole nother line of guys back here before you get to the 2 returners, right? So we want to see those guys as well. We want to see how they're getting in position, how they're going to throw those blocks, and then where the returner catches the ball, and then where he's going from there. Okay? And there we are. Okay. We got there. Not sure where that ball landed, so we lost out on some kicker statistics on that. All right. Perfect setup. Look at this. A yard, 2 yards, 3 yards total. Looks good. Okay. And then there we go. Okay. That left to right movement to stay with this receiver, this safety on this side. Because the receiver on this side vacates. Okay, so we have all this room that we can give to this safety. Beautiful. Okay. And down goes, there's that number 9 again. Okay. Getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground. Excellent work. This looks so good. All right. Number 9, you got a highlight reel here because the team filmer is doing it up for you. Okay. Number 21, good luck. Okay. You're gone. Okay. So we've got all this extra space on this side, and number 21 is missing on this side. So that's where I'd want to bring this over to show where that defender is going on that side. Look at that. He is actually getting into the play at that point. Okay. That's pretty rare. I haven't seen that guy drop out too much on this footage this so far. Okay, let's see. Okay, got a lot of crowd, got 15-20 yards behind the deepest man there, got another 10 yards on this side, just a lot of extra space from the setup. All right, let's just see. Let's put it in the box, just measure it out, how much tighter we could be. How much space are we giving up here? Okay, we're about 60%. All right, on a diagonal, 60% of the diagonal of the frame. But coming in to make a play of it, looks good. Okay. All right. Now we're zooming in on a long pass. Right. Your long balls, you got to zoom out to see where those receivers are going. Right. Let's see. One gone. One. Nope. Stays in. Another one gone. Okay. And then the long ball goes to the deepest man. All right. That's the time to zoom out if you're going to do it. But there haven't been a lot of plays where we're zoomed way far out when we don't need to be, which is, worse in my opinion, a lot of times. All right. Wow. Okay. Looks really good. Pass. Wow. Okay. So right here, this is so good, right? No knee-jerk reactions. Nothing's happening. Nothing. Look at this guy's staying in the frame. Okay. But zooming in, you're going to cut all these routes out once. It's just delayed, a delay in what the quarterback's doing here. Looks like he's going that direction. No, he's coming this way. If you can just recognize that this is a pass play, you got to keep up with the routes, right? And just change that mentality from the run plays. Pass. Okay. How did I know it was a pass? Well, you got guys out in routes. They look like they're about to run some routes. This guy might be taking a handoff, but just doesn't look like it. Looks like everybody's ready to throw a pass. Right? We lost a guy here on this side. So again, if you zoom out just a little bit just to see, to the end zone here, you're not losing much as far as detail in here. As long as you're doing it in a measured amount to, only at the depth of the farthest man on that side. Okay. Play 65. Pass. Okay, now they are zooming out, right? They were. Okay. Right, looking good. Like we're keeping up with this guy, and then he keeps going. Right. Zoom stopped and he kept going. He's definitely reading that, reading the quarterback and seeing where he's going to throw it to, which is fine. That's great. But, sometimes where the quarterback's not looking is actually just as good of information as where he was looking, because he might not have been looking in the right spot to find the open guy. All right. Run recognition all day long. So good. 67. Spot on, perfect. 68. Yeah, these are quick. Okay. This guy, gone. Okay, if this is a rollout, you want to keep him in the shot a little bit. Oh my goodness. What? Who is this guy? What number is that? 20? Bam! Sweet. Highlight reels. Okay? This is what it's all about. Right? This filmer is doing such a service to these young men who are looking for opportunities at the next level. So good. Right? Yep. These two guys not doing anything, drop them. Okay? Down to 20. These guys doing a lot. Right? You can see. They're winded. They're gassed. They're giving it all out there. I love it. So well done. Okay. A lot of space behind the offense on this time. A lot of crowd. Right? Let's put in the box again. Okay, there's that wide setup again. Just popped up again for the second time. Exact same distance, about 60%. Okay, then they zoom in. Very, very usable at that point. Okay. At least they didn't stay out, completely out wide like that for the entire play. They came back in and made a play of it. All right. Getting in there. Here we go. Roll out this way. Okay. So they drop a guy right here. Right. Then the corner comes up and makes play. But we got a guy blocking him. 22. 22 is like, oh, I can make this play. Let's go. Okay. I can bounce my quarterback for another 5 yards. Let's do that. Right? So this is what it's all about. These coaches can see all of this. And guess what? Like, let's just look at who's in the shot. These two guys are done. Right? Now, this guy's just standing there. Okay? So now we're down to 19. This guy's out. 18. 18 guys. Right? All right? This is 18 guys in this shot. And that's what I'm talking about. Compared to 5, right? This is where we want to be. Still tight. Still seeing all the color, all the numbers, right? 22 making a huge block on that. 60. Okay, moving his guy out of the way. 64 at the point of attack. Number 1 into the end zone. Ooh, buddy. All that was good. So good. All right, let's not forget about 17. He's on the field. He's going to get an extra point. No, there's no play. Offsides. Okay. Perfect framing. Absolutely perfect. So well done. Wow. Okay. Alright. So, had a chance to get to the scoreboard there for a second. 35-0. Wow. Okay. Okay. Did we miss the kick at the beginning of the play? Nope. Zoomed over. And there it is. Okay. So they got it just in time. All right. Any much longer than that, if it took them any longer to get over to that kick, they would have missed it. And that's, you got to start in time for the start of the play, for sure. All right, so here we go. We got extra space back here, and we're missing where the ball's landing over here. Trade space for players. Okay. Beautiful. So good. Okay. Vacating that space. What are we going to do with it? We're going to bring this over. And there it is. Perfect. So well done. Expert level stuff right there. Play 77. Okay, do we got to get nice tight setup, guys on both sides within 5 yards? Sure do. What are we going to do with this? Okay, well, don't want to drop the safeties. If we can keep them in the shot, especially on a pass play, right, would go a long way to show, why this quarterback decided to throw this ball where he did as opposed to back here, right? Maybe the post was a better option. Who knows? All right. We'll let the coaches decide that, but if they can see it, they can make a far better determination as to, whether or not that quarterback did the right thing on there. Okay. Well, zooming out a little bit here, okay, and then recognizing that the ball is thrown underneath. There you go. That works. Play 79. Pass. Okay. And just tell it's a pass. You can just kind of see the quarterback's not looking to hand that off at all. All right. And so if we can just keep that guy in the shot for a little bit longer, we can see that because he's changing direction and making the play, right? So huge to be able to show what he did to put himself in position to do that. A lot of times it comes down to footwork. It comes down to how quickly they can change direction in that second level, right? So if you can keep him in the shot, it's a huge benefit to him and the team as a whole. Okay, let's go back here and see where this came from. Okay, number 5's saying I need bigger shoulder pads. All right, gone. Okay, he's gone. And then the ball's to the far side. All right, that works. I'd definitely like to keep the guys on this side a little longer to be able to see that, but when the ball's to the far side, you know, if you can recognize that right away and go that direction, that's fine. Okay. Oh my. The highlight reel 9. Okay. Zooming out. Okay. So there. We zoom in and then zoom out. All right, we've got the front line. That's great. We got this line. That's great. They're zooming in, then zooming back out. Kind of like an accordion, right? And there is the ball. Finally, we see the ball land on this one. Right there. Okay. And bouncing into the end zone. Okay. So if you're going to just cut out the middle in between zooming in, just zoom out just enough to be able to see where that ball lands while keeping the guys on the other side. All right. Looks good though. Tight. So good. The run recognition. They're seeing it so well. All right. This is definitely a filmer that knows what they're doing. Okay. All right. So on a pass, if you can keep the receiver and the defender on this side in the shot, you know, to see. And maybe this wasn't the best option. Probably was. But, you know, you want to be able to see it. And the block in the back, 18. Okay. Yeah, he got called for that. He definitely did. And I saw it because the filmer showed it, right? It was plain as day. Okay. Looks good. They're giving 9 the ball. He's been having a day today. Both sides of the ball. Number 20's been having a day. Let's go. Okay. Great. So good. So good. All this. This is all 22. Right here we drop out the quarterback and the decoy on this side. Totally understandable. Now we're down to 20 guys. Got these 3 guys here. They get dropped out. 55's gone. Okay. So now we're kind of honing in on the run at that point. Makes sense. Looks so good. Okay. Okay. So yeah, you got the receiver on this side runs off immediately again. Okay, 10 versus 10. Who's going to win in the 10 versus 10 matchup? I don't know. I kind of feel like the white 10 got it. Oh, it's 10 versus 18. Okay. 10 versus 18. Number 10 ended up making the play, right? Love to be able to see how, you know, number 10 got off that block and made that play. Looks good. Handoff. Okay. Awesome. All right. So you can see this guy here, he's going to vacate this space. This guy here is going that direction. Everything kind of works within this frame. Everybody's heading that direction. You got a guy filling this frame. You got a guy filling this edge. You got still within 5 yards on this side. It all looks really good. And then go find the ball. Great job. Play 90. Nice and tight. Okay, you can see how the tight setup makes all the rest of this work. There's times when if you're in tight, you're going to have to zoom out. And just recognizing those times as well. Alright, here we go. 13 on this side, 10 on this side. Straight ahead. Okay, are we missing anybody on this side? Yeah. So at the setup, there's definitely one more man out on this edge. Does it hurt to go out and to see all 22 instead of 21 guys? Absolutely not. There to zoom out just a little bit, or just to bring this over, trade space for this player would make a ton of sense. To be able to see that guy, and even if you do have to zoom out, it's so tight. You're definitely making a sound decision by including this last guy here. Okay, because this guy's got to block him, right? That's my responsibility. That's what I got to do. And the play's going away, so it's not a huge deal. But if you can get it right to start, is a huge benefit to the players, to the team, to the coaches. All right. They've been pretty spot on every extra point so far. And this one is exactly the same. Looks good. Kick off. Okay. Still not seeing where the ball's landing. Alright, so it's kind of weird because everything's going this direction, right? Until it's not. Right now it's going this direction. So now you got to kind of shift, reverse gears here and start going this way with all the blocking out ahead of the returner. Pass. I'm going to say this is a pass. Nope, run straight ahead. Okay. Oh, 29. Let's go. Okay. Yes. Yes. Bam! Okay. Why do I get so excited about that? Because I got to see it. It's right there. Okay. Oh, this is so good. It's right there. Let's go. Bam! Yes! Okay. Coach, get him to the running back every single time. He's awesome. I love it. Okay. Coach, look at this guy. He's doing so good in routes. I love it. Okay. He's putting this together into his highlight reel, and he's saying, coaches, look at what I'm doing out here. This is awesome. Okay. Now here, we're a little wider, right? But I can still see the routes being run, at this point, and this is exactly where I want to see it, right? At this point in this, it took us a little while to get here, but this is exactly where I want to see this. If we can zoom up to stay tight from the beginning, and then zoom out to get to this point at this time in the play, would be ideal. Okay, let's see what we can do to make that happen. Okay, right here. Okay, they're actually zooming in to get to that point. Like, they were so wide out, they're actually inverted. Right now we're zooming in instead of zooming out. If we had originally started in this frame, okay, there's that 60 frame. I still haven't changed this box from the previous times I've measured. Okay, about 60%. Okay, if we could keep this frame right here and then zoom out with the team until they got to that point, that would be awesome. All right. Instead, they're zooming in till they get there, and then at that point is perfect. All right. Beautiful. This is where it's at. Okay. Now, if we can combine this at the beginning of the play with where we were at perfectly at, as the receiver was catching it on the last play, that's the goal. And that would make for absolutely perfect video all the way through. Okay. Let's see what this guy's doing here. Okay. So he's coming this way. This guy's coming this way, but the camera isn't coming that way. And so because of that, we're dropping that guy out, and we'd want to see him. Okay. Pass. Okay. Pass, roll out, go in that direction. We can keep these guys in the shot just a little bit longer. and then they do end up coming over, right? So those guys do end up, staying within the frame if we can just stay with them a little bit longer at the beginning until they get to that point. This would be perfect. We can cut this down on this side and give it to these guys. You don't have to zoom out at all. It's just the same frame. Okay. I understand you don't want to cut out the quarterback on this side. He's running that way, and you want to make sure you keep him in the shot. Definitely. And that's why you would leave, a little bit of space. Either zoom out to keep these guys in the shot, or cut this down and keep them in the shot just where you're at. Looks good though. Very, very usable footage for this coaching staff. All right. Yeah. Okay. Talk about keeping the guys in the shot. Let's do it here. Bam. So good. This is so usable, right? This is all 22 guys. Coming from a team that passed 80% of the time, had an 80% pass to run ratio, it makes a difference to be able to see these routes for sure, right? And of course, you always want to see it on a pass play, and he ends up scrambling and going for the run, and you can see that too, right? It's all really, really, really good. That's where we could be all day long. All right. Run. Yeah. So good. Let's go. Okay. Now this is a very spread out formation. And then they're going for the end zone. Let's go. Okay. Not sure where the ball landed. Oh, out of bounds. Okay. Looks good. Okay. Hold on a second. Tight. Okay. Oh wow, we're getting right up on it. Right. Okay, we're into the mix now. We're in the trenches with the team. You can just leave this at this point the entire way through. It's such a tight formation, such a tight setup to start. You can just leave it. All right. Looks good. Beautiful. So good. Awesome. Run. Alright. So I don't know the exact score of this game, but I'm under the impression that this team in the black with the red helmets is up really, really big at this point, and they're just run. Okay. So they're going to keep the ball on the ground for the most part. Just seeing a lot of run plays back to back. So that's understandable for, when you've got the lead and moving down the field. Okay. Yeah, he's not throwing it. Didn't fool me. Right? Didn't fool the filmer. He knew what was up. Right? So tight. So good. Run. Okay. Awesome. Why do you run when you got a big lead? I don't know. Coaches like to do it. They like to keep the ball on the ground because they don't want to have interceptions going back the other direction. They want to, maintain the ball, just hand it to the guy that is going to hold on to it, and continue to work the clock down to 0. The more first downs you can get on the ground, and if he ends up breaking one for a touchdown, that works too. Okay. Sometimes you got to pass, depending on the situation. Third down, fourth down, whatever. Sometimes you just say, let's just throw it to the back of the end zone, see if that guy will catch it. And he did. Perfect. Wow. So good. Okay, special teams. Kickoff. Here we go again. Okay. Zoom out. Right? You want to be zooming out on this so that you can see where this returner is going, because these are return statistics too, right? So it's not just about where the kicker, how far the kicker kicked it. This returner says, I caught the ball at the 3-yard line. No, it was the 5-yard line. No, it was the 7-yard line, right? And then because of that, I don't know how much I can attribute to this returner as far as return yardage. Okay? Perfect. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. So you can see, right? Zooming out is not a problem when it's warranted, right? This is a wide set. This is a wide formation. This is deep safeties, deeper than what you see when they're, crowded around in the box. And, when the entire, offense is in a tight formation. Okay. This is all spread out, so we spread out and zoom out with them. We're still close enough to see a good amount of detail, numbers, and all that, right? As long as we're doing the right thing with it from this point forward, you can use that footage for everything that the coaches need to, right? Still all 22 guys in the shot here, right? You can always cut this space down behind the offense, but looks really good. 114 pass. Okay. Screen. Oh, he caught that. Wow, I was not expecting that to be the case. Okay. All right. So here, again, if you're out this wide, why zoom in to cut everybody out? Just go ahead and leave it. You already had to be out this wide anyway. Just leave it and let these guys fill in this frame a little bit. Let these routes fill in the frame. You can draw it up just like you would on a whiteboard. And then once you see that this is a screen and it's to this guy and he's catching the ball, which he does, to everyone's surprise, he catches that ball. Great catch and great run after the catch, right? So we didn't necessarily need to zoom in just to get to this point, right? There's a whole lot of extra stuff around the edges here that we're missing, and we could be seeing a whole lot more, but if we just stayed out a little bit wider to start and just kind of tempered that zoom in for a little bit later in the play, once the play actually develops there. All right. Pass. You got about 7-8 yards behind the quarterback, behind the running back, so that should change here. Okay. Oh, running back rolls out on this side and pass to the other side. All 22 guys. Whoa. What? Number 16 coming off the sidelines. Okay. Oh no. All right. So, a little bit of chaos here at the start of the play. There is a safety missing at the start of the play on this side, so that is a huge, thing to be able to zoom out to get number 2 as well. All right. Okay, second down, pass. They looking pass. Second and long. There's a penalty in there somewhere. Okay, second and long. Pass. Okay. Space behind the quarterback, dropping the safety, right? Trade space for players. Jeez. What a run, 28. Okay. Fourth quarter. Pass. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's go. All right. Okay. So zooming in, right, on a pass play, just from experience, doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, just coming over with these players, you've already had to be out this wide to keep them all in the shot to start. Just stay out this wide, come over as far as you can, and then zoom out if you have to, right? But I would imagine that you wouldn't even have to by the time this ball's released and where this receiver's at. You could just keep this frame exactly where it's at, right? But if you're zooming in, then you're going to cut this guy out of the shot, right? And kind of a big deal, right? Could he have made this play? Probably, yeah. If he was in the right position, right? I don't know if that's his job, where he needs to be or not. But there's 21 guys in this shot, right? And if we had just kept it where it was at, we would have kept all 22 this entire section of play until we get to this point. We can go find the ball and go obviously zoom up on number 13 while he's running for a touchdown. Congratulations, number 13. Absolutely awesome play there. Okay. Highlight reel stuff again. Special teams. I'm just going to count it. It's automatic, right? I've seen it every time. So good. Okay. Special teams. See, can we zoom out and find where the ball is on this one? All right. Looks pretty good. All right. Okay. Zooming in. Nope. No play. All right. So we're a lot tighter on this one than we were last time. Okay. Got within just a couple yards here. 5 yards here. And then coming over. Okay. All 22. Spot on. Okay, again, guys with the red helmets are just keeping the ball on the ground as much as possible. And you can plan for that, right, at this stage of the game. Wouldn't expect to have to zoom out much at all, if at all, it's going to be few and far between and only as the situation dictates. Okay. This is so good. It's all good. 124. Straight ahead. Run play straight ahead. Okay. Awesome. Zooming up on it. Getting tight. Oh boy. Okay, they're sending linebackers right up the middle. All right, so you can see it, right? Oh yeah, let's go. Look at this dude. 66. I see you, bro. 3. Okay, what you doing down here, 3? Yeah, making a block, keeping 40 off my guy. I like it. Sometimes players don't realize how good their film is. How good they have it compared to other film that I watch, right? This is top-notch stuff. Not perfect, right? There's definitely ways that can be improved, but that's pretty much the case with everybody, right? At all levels, there are some elite expert people who are so perfect at it that there's really little to find fault in. But there's always room for all of us to improve, to be able to do better. But some of these players may not realize that they're getting just top-notch footage to be able to review for coaching purposes, to be able to send for recruiting purposes, and the like. Not sure what happened on play 127 here. Just kind of like jumped into the end of a play here. Maybe just them rolling off, from the end of this play. Looks like it. May have missed a play, but, if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. So, there you go. 127. Perfect. Psh. Okay. This frame, all 22 guys within 2 yards in both directions. How about here? 2 yards both directions. How about here? 2 yards both directions. How about here? 2 yards both directions. But different guys at this point, right? We've rotated through everybody, but this filmer knows how this is going to play out. Seen it 1,000 times, right? 10,000 times. Knows that this play is going to happen exactly like this, and senses it and can tell that this is how it's going to go, and doesn't have to make any adjustments whatsoever. And I can see number 69. Holy smokes! Where you at, 69? Let's go. So awesome. That's what it's all about. It's a fun Saturday morning to come in to review film on. Watching players make blocks like this. Right? Let's go. Inside handoff. Counter coming back this way. 23. Okay. Where's he coming from? Right here. Right? He's coming back inside. Everybody's going this way. He's coming this way. Right? 2 yards. 2 yards. 1 yard. 1 yard. 1 yard. 1 yard. Okay. At this point, count it as a win. You don't have to zoom in at all. This is so perfect. You can just leave it. I see absolutely everybody. I see every single block. 75. I see you, dude. Let's go. And I see all these guys. Yeah. Making plays. So good. Straight ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. When I say you don't have to zoom in, you don't have to do anything, this is what I mean. This is perfect. So good. I can watch every last player. 22 guys on this field, I can go through every single one of them and say, yep, 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 yep. Every single one of them, and say, yeah, you guys were doing what you needed to on that play in order to make that happen. Great job. Okay, drop the receiver out on this side. He ended up keeping it kind of designed run, it looks like, so that works. All right. Maybe a pass here. Yep. Nope, designed run. He's not passing. Right. Filmer's probably seeing that, but definitely keep these guys in the shot. Let's see what kind of blocks they're making, right? And then, you know, you're not zooming out very far to keep them in the shot. Definitely workable. Something you can be doing there. 133. Okay. Going back the other direction. Keep it on the ground. Nope, they're passing. Yes. Okay. And are we zooming out at the speed that we need to? Yes. Are we zooming out as far as we need to keep everybody in the shot? Also, yes. Is this guy just manhandling this dude on the ground? Yup. Okay. And kind of holding him, tackling him, but you know, there you go. All right. We're in pretty close at this point. Right. There's 3 guys in this shot and zooming in pretty tight. Probably just exciting and going by there, but looked good. Everything up until that point looked really good. Yes. Yup. Okay. All right. That looks good. 15's down. Okay. The slide. The early slide. I like the early slide. Don't wait till the last second. Protect yourself. Get on the ground. Okay? Or put your shoulder down and run somebody over. I don't care. Alright. Dropping out the safety on this side. Right? Obvious pass. Looks pretty good. If we can get that safety in the shot, that's a perfect shot. Right? And 21 was the guy who actually, you know, redirected this runner once he got the ball. So that's where I want to see him, right? I want to see how he got to that receiver to make that play. All right. Cutting guys out again. This is clear passing situations for the white team, and you can just plan on that. Go ahead and keep them in the shot. Keep all these defenders in the shot. Like this, right? There's 21, right? That's the guy we've been dropping out this drive. There's the guy on this side. And there's the pass to the end zone. In for a score. Let's go. What a throw. Awesome. And that's the game. Okay? So, wow. What a game it was, right? So good. I was very impressed with the footage on the whole here. And with both teams, at times they were making some big-time plays on both sides of the ball, and I love to get to see it. And it's all right there on film. So because of this filmer, I'm able to see all this. And because of this filmer, these players, 24, 33, 21, 1, 17, they're all able to evaluate how well they played, evaluate where they need to improve moving forward, and then, share that with family, friends, and prospective coaches who might be looking to, bring them on to the next level for collegiate football. So, all right. So out of 135 plays, there was 109 positive. The biggest issue was dropping players out. So there was 23 times where the players kind of ran off the screen when we really want to keep them in the shot. That brings up a total of 81%. With a bonus of 51%. 51% of the time they were doing absolutely excellent work. The footage here is so usable and so good on so many levels that these players are benefiting tremendously from being able to see this. So the total for today, 85.85%. So congratulations to Eden Prarie. Best of luck for 2026. This is Cameraman Grades.